Hi, I'm Dan Troop, the Job Search Mechanic, here with episode 12 of my Job Search video series. And today, I want to talk about how to write a cover letter that's compelling, effective, and can also help you win your job search. Specifically, I'm going to address three topics. First, how do you actually structure your cover letter? Second, how do you use that cover letter to highlight alignment with your value proposition? And then finally, best practices for formatting your cover letter. As always, before we get started, you can find all the details, the instructions, and the tools on this step in the AdvantEdge Job Search Process in my book. Links to purchase this book are listed below. And please be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more job search videos every week. Let's get going. Now, many a famous author have stared for days at a blank page. So you yourself might be tempted to invent all kinds of reasons not to do the hard work and write a cover letter. It's really easy to listen to people that tell you that cover letters are a waste of time. I'm telling you, don't take the bait. If you haven't already watched episode 11 of my video series, go back and watch it. In that video, I walk you through the how and the why of cover letters as an important tool to help you rise above the competition and win your job search. Now, before we dive into today's video, I want to discuss what physical format your cover letter should take: email or standalone business letter. There are really three options. Option number one, you embed the content of your cover letter in the body of an email with your resume then attached to the email. Option number two, write the cover letter as a standard business letter and then attach it as a separate PDF along with your resume. So two separate files attached to the email. And then there's option number three, create a single consolidated PDF file that includes both your cover letter and the resume, and attach that one single file to the email. Everybody's going to have an opinion, and I do as well. But first off, if the organization to which you are applying has a specific process for applying, then follow those steps exactly as specified, naturally. But if you've got the freedom to choose, I'm always choosing option one. Embed the content of your cover letter right into the body of the email, so your message and your value proposition are front and center with the highest level of visibility. Now, as I said a moment ago, a blank page can be intimidating when you're trying to write a cover letter. So let's start first with a template that you can follow to add some structure, section by section, to that blank page and make the cover letter writing easier for you. I break a cover letter structure down into 7 essential elements: header, salutation, introduction, hook, value proposition, call to action, and lastly, the signature. I think that's 7 sections if I counted correctly. Let's start with the header. This might sound really basic, but a cover letter's got to include your contact information. And the elements of your contact information should be the same as what you've included on your resume: first and last name, city and state, phone, and email. Now, if you structure the cover letter as a standalone formal business letter, then you're going to place your contact information at the top of the letter. If you send your cover letter as an email, then you're going to put your contact information at the bottom or the end of the email below your signature. Next, we move on to the salutation. Well, this is the formal greeting at the beginning of a business letter or an email. Now, the salutation is only one line and usually only 3 to 4 words, but it does require proper formatting and a little bit of consideration. So think, Dear Daniel Troop. But here's the catch with the salutation. Under no circumstances should you begin a salutation with, "To whom it may concern." If that's your opening salutation, stop. don't write the cover letter. Go back and do some more research on the organization and your target to better develop contact information. Now, we move on to the introduction. This is the first actual paragraph of the cover letter, and it's a maximum of 1 to 2 sentences. The first sentence is a clear statement that identifies what job posting you're actually applying for, or what type of position you're seeking. Now, the second sentence indicates how did you actually come across this opportunity. For example, through networking, a named referral, or through your own primary research. Then we move on to the hook paragraph. Like your elevator pitch, this is the foundation of the hook paragraph is an attention-grabbing statement. You want to think about 1 or 2 sentences that are going to pull the reader in and motivate he or she to continue to read the rest of your cover letter. So, how do you do that? Focus on your personal connection to the brand, the organization, or your fit with the culture, and why this connection motivates you to want to work in the position and for the company. Now, the 5th structural element is critical here. It's your value proposition. And this is where you get to map your skills and experience to the specific requirements of the job posting or your career target. So you should align your qualifications to the position and the organizational needs. But the value proposition paragraph, it's not a restatement of your resume. Instead, you want to format it as a story, a compelling story of how you're the most uniquely qualified candidate for that target organization and for the position. The 6th element, because a job search is a sales cycle, is a call to action. Never leave your message just floating in thin air. In a maximum of 1 to 2 sentences, you close by expressing your interest in a direct conversation and precisely when and how you're going to follow up on this initial communication. Don't be afraid to ask directly for what you want from your target. And then finally, the last element, it's simple, but it's still important, and that's the signature. Always proceed your electronic or physical signature with a positive closing statement. Now, I'm partial to statements like sincerely or best regards, but you'll find your own. Now let's circle back for a more detailed discussion on what I described as probably the most important element of the cover letter, and that's your value proposition. That cover letter is another opportunity in this job search sales cycle to highlight precisely how your value proposition aligns with the targeted position and the organization. And I've got 3 specific cover letter techniques that you can use to highlight this alignment of value proposition to target position. The first technique is something I call the standard paragraph. You use free-flowing text to describe your value proposition paragraph and describe how specific elements of your skills and your experience align with the primary position and the organizational requirements. The second technique is what I call the bullet list paragraph. Now, in place of free-flowing text describing your value proposition, you paraphrase the primary requirements that you've taken from your research on the position as 3 to 4 bullet points. And each bullet point is followed by a sentence that demonstrates the alignment of your skills and experience. And then lastly, in a similar manner, we have what I call the matrix paragraph. Here you'd insert a 2-column and then up to a 4-row table. And the left-hand column lists the critical position and organizational requirements. The right-hand column includes a sentence for each one of those requirements that demonstrate the alignment of your skills and experience. Whether you use the bullet list or the matrix technique, you introduce that section, the value proposition section, with a single sentence that says, hey, I spent time analyzing the position in your organization, and here's my analysis. Based on this, I believe I'm an exceptionally well-qualified candidate for the position or the opportunity. Now, I want to close out this video by sharing 3 best practices for formatting your cover letter. They're pretty straightforward. First, keep the cover letter to a maximum of 1 page. This is not a term paper. And use extensive, liberal use of white space. Try to target a maximum of maybe 75% at the most of the page that's filled with text and content. Second, structure your cover letter, as I said earlier, resembling a professional business letter or email. And then third, stay consistent with the look and feel of your resume. That means use the same standard font on your cover letter that matches the font you've used on your resume. And as I alluded to in earlier videos where we talked about the resume, stick with basic business fonts like Calibri or Arial and 11 or 12-point font size. Now, writing this compelling cover letter is a critical step in executing your job search. And I do describe it in detail for you, along with the templates and the tools that you'll need in Chapter 8 of my Job Search Guidebook, Selling You the AdvantEdge Job Search Process. It's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and directly from my website. And as I say in all of these videos, I maintain that if you're looking for a resource to help you, walk you step by step through your job search, along with the detailed instructions and tools to use at each point along the way to landing your job offer, then this book is going to help you. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then follow me on LinkedIn. All the links are down below. Look for episode 13 to drop next week. And as always, thanks for watching.